Hi guys, Scotty here. Hey, today I want to share with you a little bit about how I discovered my technique, what happened to me, and show you a few shots. Back in 1990, I accidentally stumbled onto a way of gripping the golf club that completely changed my game. It changed my life. But before that, a quick history. I grew up in Arizona playing par 3 courses. My father taught me I think I was probably about 10, 12 years old. And I played through my teens and through my 20s as a complete hack. I played executive golf courses because I could not play a regulation course, meaning maybe 67 to 72, 7,300 yards, par 71, 72. I would not even attempt to play those golf courses because I was so bad. I had an average tee shot of about 160 yards with a huge slice, and I could not control my irons whatsoever. So I was the guy on the executive course, maybe shooting again 30, 40 over, maybe something like that. I'm hitting your backyard with my shots. Your patio furniture took a beating from me. Jeans, t-shirt, tennis shoes, that was me. When you're a bad player, that bad, you don't care to own any good equipment. You don't care to own any apparel or anything because you just don't care. But you love the game. There's something inside you, as golfers, you know that. There's something inside that just makes us want to be a better golfer. I think it's a fun game. But it's more fun when you can hit the ball. I got to tell you that. It can be life-changing. This technique can be life-changing for you. So 1990, I completely stumbled onto this way of gripping the golf club. I was at a driving range with one of my sons, Sean. He was 11 years old at the time. I had a bucket of balls and I had a brand new driver. It was a metal head driver, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to change everything for me. This is it. You know how you get a new club and you're like, oh, this is going to do it? Well, that's what I thought. And I proceeded to hit a bucket of balls. All slicing, ugly, same thing. Same old, different day. That's all. There were 2 balls left on the ground, on the deck, and my club was actually on the ground. I had thrown it to the ground. I was so frustrated because, I was a decent athlete. I pitched baseball when I was young, and I even tried out for the San Francisco Giants as a young man, as a pitcher. So I had coordination, but I could not hit a golf ball at all. So there's these 2 balls laying on the ground. My club's on the ground. I'm frustrated as could be. I reached down and I picked it up like this. I picked up the end of the grip like this, and I waggled it back and forth a couple of times. And I literally gripped it with my other hand and made a grip out of it, strutted up to one of the balls on the ground off the deck with a Happy Gilmore strut, if you will, and swung as hard as I possibly could, and hit about a 340-yard riser with a little draw. Now, I've got to tell you that this story may sound impossible, but this is exactly what happened to me. The adrenaline rush I had was incredible. It was like, guys, it was like waking up in the middle of a dream, though it was real. Imagine that. Imagine you went to bed, you're lying in bed, you're sleeping, you're dreaming. All of a sudden you're ripping these monster drives and you wake up and you're on the range and it's really happening to you. That's what it felt like to me. Well, I asked my son, go get another bucket of balls. I hit ball after ball after ball in the 300 plus range with a draw. Now, I had never moved a ball from right to left in my life. So that alone was exciting, but to hit it so far was life-changing. It was life-changing, you guys. I can't overemphasize this. It was so exciting to see what happened. Well, after I think I played with this for about 10 months or so, close to a year. I played just for myself. I went out, I bought everything you could buy. Actually, right after I discovered it, I went out and bought everything you could buy. Remember I was in the jeans, t-shirt, and tennis shoes? Well, I bought all new equipment. I bought balls, I bought shag bags, I bought every new club, I bought everything. Just everything, guys. I suddenly could hit a golf ball. Well, I worked on this for myself, and I cut within probably 30 to 45 days, I cut over 50 strokes off my game and honed it in for about a year. And then one day, I realized that people wanted it. Actually, what I was doing is I was out at a driving range one evening, and this is outside of Cleveland, at a place called Green Road Driving Range. And I was hitting a walkthrough, I call it. I line up 10 balls and walk through them, hit one after another after another. And I was doing that one night. And I turned around, there was a crowd watching me, a small crowd, like 30 people, 30, 40 people, whatever it was. And a gentleman, I remember it as if it were yesterday, a gentleman stepped out of the crowd and said, "I'll be the spokesperson." He goes, "Who the heck are you and what are you doing?" And the little light bulb went off and I said, "Oh my gosh, they want what I have here. It could help anyone maybe." And I had never thought that. I thought it was just for me. I had never considered teaching it to anyone, except for actually I taught it to my sons. But I never thought the world, of teaching it to the world. But I did. I went home after I had that light bulb moment, and I ended up, I'll make the story short, I ended up going into golf full time shortly after that. And I started touring the country, putting on ball striking exhibitions. I just put it together myself out of nowhere. I want to tell you right now, the wall of tradition that I ran into back then was absolutely astounding. It was incredible to see how difficult it was to break through with this new technique. Now, the press loved me. The press loved it because, oh my gosh, look at this new thing. Let's go check it out. And I would never do an interview. This is kind of interesting. I would never do an interview unless I would tell whoever was doing it, you have to see it and write about what you see or talk about what you see. Don't talk about what I can say. Forget that. I want you to see it. So I always let the third party tell their side of the story, if you will, when I did an interview. It was received again by the press wonderfully and by the masses wonderfully, but who could I reach? Back then, by putting on a ball striking exhibition, let's say that I would go to a city, let's go Chicago, Dallas, New York, LA, whatever. I would have to go 2 to 3 weeks in advance. We would send out a press release. I would do the press. And the press back then, what was it? It was a radio show. It was a newscast at your 5 o'clock, whatever, 10 o'clock newscast for the sports section, if you will. Or, again, newspaper, radio, television show, or news broadcast. That was it. So if you didn't see that, you had no clue that I was in town putting this on. So when I would go to a town, again, I would do those interviews. They would release them out to the public. We would find a location to put on a ball striking exhibition, and people would show up. Now, what could I get? I had maybe between 200 and 500 people would show up at each exhibition. So, which is good, but that's the only people I'm reaching. So if I do, let's say 4 of them in your town, I'm averaging maybe 1,000 people are getting to see this. 1,000, maybe 1,500 people get to see it. And out of that 1,000, 1,500, they were all excited, but they could only learn so much. I didn't have a way of reaching them, how could I say, consistently to teach them. So we would offer them a video. So through video instruction, they would try to learn my technique. So it was kind of destined to fail almost because of the tradition I was coming against and the inability to reach the masses as you can today. I left golf in 2000. I was worn out. It was so difficult coming across that barrier. It was just so difficult getting over that wall. I couldn't do it. So I left golf. You haven't heard of me. Probably almost all of you have not heard of me. Some of you have, but most of you have never heard of me. I'm running a company. I have a construction company. And as I'm running my construction company, one of my internet marketing guys told me, he said, he found out about my past golf career. And he said, you need to go back into golf. And I'm like, I don't want to go back into golf. Why would I do that? I'm an old man now. I don't care about this. I tried, I did my thing, and who cares? And I got to tell you, over the course of about a year and a half, he asked me maybe, 5, 10 times, you got to go back into golf. And one day I said, tell me why. Show me why. I'll listen. And he explained YouTube to me, and he explained social media to me, because I never had a Facebook account. I don't do any social media, anything. I'm an old guy that just didn't care. And he explained to me how I could reach the world. And you know what? I said, why not? Why not? So guess what? I'm back. I'm back and I'm here to tell you that I have discovered something that could change your life also. Not just mine, yours. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to explain why the technique works. We have all these episodes that I've made, so we have a lot of content that explains this, but I want you to understand that it's very simple. My technique that I stumbled on by accident forces your body to make the correct move on a ball. That's all I can tell you. Your hands are faster, your body gets put in the right position, and if you do it correctly, it is an incredible feeling. Let me share some of my golf shots with you right now. I want to share some shots from now, and then I want to take you back about 32 years or so and show you how I hit the ball back then. I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope this helps you understand more about the grip. I hope you enjoy the golf shots. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let's get on to these shots. I'm on a par 4, about 440 yards at Kierland Golf Club. And I'm going to hit a couple drives out here for you. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to the 200 marker, the 175, and the 150, and I'll hit some shots from there. Let's do this. Now we're in the middle of the fairway. I'm 200 yards out. I want to show you my 7-iron, so I stopped here. The two drives I hit are about 70, 80 yards in front of me here. We'll go there in just a minute. Remember the pre-swing routine. I've got two balls here. I've got a pin that is cut far, far right, so I'm going to just hit the middle of the green so that you can see the ball. Here we go. Do your pre-swing routine, okay? Do what works for you. But be sure to pull up, pinch, and drive. Down through the ball, just like that. There we go, middle of the green. Let's do one more here. Find what works for you so that you can reproduce it over and over and over. Find your height. Pinch and drive, turning your hands over. Just like that. Now we're going to move down here to the 175-yard marker so that I can hit a different iron for you. All right, we've moved up to the 175 marker. I'm going to hit an 8-iron now. Now remember, every time it's the same way. Ball's in the very middle of your stance. Get your grip. Hands are pressed forward of the ball. Left elbow's bent. You pull up high. You pinch and drive down the line, turning those hands over. Let's do this. 175, got an 8-iron.
Let's get it close to those 2 other balls I have up there. Here we go. Pull up high, pinch and drive. Throwing your hands down the line. Just like that. Here we go, one more. Same thing. Find your line, reproduce the same swing over and over. Pull up high, pinch, drive down the line, turning those hands over. Just like that. All right, now we moved up to the 150 marker. It's the same swing, nothing changes. Ball's still in the middle of the stance, everything's the same. I'm going to drop these balls in the middle of the green. See your line, pre-swing routine. Pull up high, pinch and drive, turning those hands over. Turning those hands over, right down the line, just like that. Okay, one more. Get your grip, see your line, head still, pull up, pinch and drive. Turning those hands over, down the line, just like that. Just like that. Here's one of the 2 drives. This is the second ball, the first one's up a little bit further. I'm at 141 here, so that's about a 299-yard drive, somewhere around there. I'm going to play these golf shots toward the hole, though. Just like I'm playing golf here. You saw the drives, here's the second shot. Right there. Come on, baby, get tight. There we go. I brought a sand wedge, too. I hit this ball about, 15, 18 yards further. Here we go. Right on the flag here. Right on the flag. Right there.
There's a few shots. There's from currently, from right now, and from 30, 32, 33 years ago. Now, nothing's really changed. You know, with age, I lose distance. I definitely lose distance. But it's all pretty relative, meaning that when I was in my 30s, I was hitting 400-yard drives. My long drive to date is 421 yards. But back then I was averaging 350, 360, maybe 370 off the tee. I was hitting a 7-iron regularly at 210, easy, 215. Those kind of numbers can be you as well. I want you, again, to recognize, to please or realize that this is an opportunity for you to completely change your golf game forever. And I'm not selling anything. This is all for free. I'm giving this to you over our channel, so I'm not selling you a thing. Please take the time to learn correctly if you want to try this. Check out the videos that I have my instruction on and see what it can do for you. See you soon.